Welcome to the Boise Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We like to think spring is officially here, even though the weather is defying that statement today. But we're so glad that you are here with us today. And today's a special day. Who knows what day it is? Yes! May the 4th be with you, friends. May the 4th be with you. It's fitting. We didn't actually plan this, but it is fitting for today. We are a spiritually diverse, imaginative, playful, justice-seeking religious community proclaiming the power of love at the core of our living tradition. Love of neighbor, love of self, love for our planets, and especially today, love for our stuffies. This is Humphrey. Humphrey is my helper today. I see some of you, if you brought a helper today, let's show off your helpers. And there's some down here for later. Yeah, that's wonderful. Humphrey usually only gets to come out at Christmas Eve, so he's very delighted to be out today. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual and imaginative journey, you are welcome here. Whatever faiths you have known, whatever doubts you carry, you are welcome here. However you identify, whomever you love, you are welcome here. Everyone is welcome here. I'm the Reverend Sara LaWall. I use she, her pronouns. And as you can see today, I'm joined by some very special guests. This service is the inspiration of Justin Blauch, who is here on drums, who will be our musical conductor today and tell you a little bit more about what we're doing. We're pleased to welcome Kelly Lee on the sound bowls and meditative instruments, Jean Cardeno on electric violin, and Josh Weidner on piano. Let's take a moment to welcome our Zoom community. If you'll wave to our cameras out there, those joining us via Zoom. And friends on Zoom, we invite you to take a moment to turn your cameras on if you're able. If you have stuffies with you, they can join you in the windows so that we can welcome you into our space. Good morning, Mary Nodell. Good morning, Edith. Good morning, Scott. It's so good to see all of your faces there. Those cameras are going on. Good morning, Jeannie. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for the reminder that we worship together as one beloved community beyond the walls of this sanctuary. A special welcome to our newcomers, those of you that are joining us for the first or second time. We know it takes a lot of courage to check out a new community. We're so glad you've chosen us for this slightly different service this morning. We hope that you will introduce yourselves to us during our hospitality time after the service if you're in person, and in the chat if you're online so that we can warmly welcome you. And we invite you to fill out our newcomer forms, which are in each entryway, and we'll post a link in the chat so that we can keep you up to date with all that is happening in our fellowship. I do have a few announcements that I want to share with you this morning. After our hospitality time today, we will convene our final climate revival workshop. We're calling it Activation Hour. We'll be down at the end of the North Wing. All are welcome, whether or not you've attended any of the climate revival pieces before now, but especially if you have, as we'll be working through some of the ideas that we created during that time together. This Sunday and next Sunday is Picture Day. So if you, especially those of you in costumes, I mean, don't you want a picture of yourself, unicorns? I think so. That would be so cool. You are welcome to head down to the end of the South Wing after the service today, and Julian will be back next Sunday to have your picture taken, and those are the pictures that will appear in our printed directory. And Sunday, May 18th is our annual meeting Sunday, the annual meeting of this congregation where we vote to elect new board members, nominating committee members, endowment committee members, and share with you our proposed budget for the year. So we hope that you will plan to attend that Sunday. Each week, we begin our time together, centering ourselves by lighting our flaming chalice, the symbol of our free faith, a beacon of hope, love, and justice. As we light the chalice here in the sanctuary, I invite those of you who are Zooming with us to light a chalice or a candle if you have one nearby, and you're invited to share in the chat where it is you have lit your chalice this morning. And I would like to recruit a chalice lighter for this morning. Because it's Improv Music Day, so we're just gonna go with it. Who's been dying to light our chalice? Okay, miss, back there with your hand up, I see you, come on up. CC. It's been a minute, huh, CC? Okay, as CC Pyle is gonna light our chalice this morning. Thank you, Cece.
We come from and live on land considered sacred by many indigenous peoples, known as Bannock, Shoshone, Paiute, and many other tribes that lived here sustainably for thousands of years, inhabiting a vast region including much of Idaho.
We recognize the long history of the land, long before colonization, and acknowledge the ancient tribes whose names have been lost in history.
With this acknowledgement, we wish to demonstrate our commitment to dismantling the legacies of settler colonialism. We honor Indigenous peoples' connection to the land and support their right to sovereignty.
In the challenges of these truths, may we move through the world bringing justice in every way that we can, listening to the truths spoken to us by Native American peoples, making space for them to re-inhabit this place, and giving them back the resources they need to heal their communities.
Oh, we're gonna sing. It's Improv Day, I forgot my cue. To kick off this musical Sunday, I would like to invite us to rise in body or spirit and sing our gathering hymn together, number 1024 in the teal hymnal, words also on the screen, When the Spirit Says Do. I'm sweating.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I'm wearing my spring outfit, rainbow with flowers and grass.
And grass.
So our spiritual theme for the month of May is imagination. So today our service is going to explore building community and manifesting collective liberation through imaginative play. As we enter this time of worship, let us take a moment to breathe together. Feel your body with breath, knowing that our breath connects us to one another, to our bodies, and to our planet. Our breath offers us an opportunity for stillness, to tune into our own spiritual center, to listen deeply to our heart's own longing. I invite folks to stand up. We're going to do a little movement together. So we're going to be inviting everybody to join in with a band. So the way that music starts is it starts with dance. Every action we take in this plane is in rhythm, is in time. So we're all dancing all the time. Any vocalization is singing, everything we do is play. So we're going to do a little bit of stretching. And we're going to bring in all of our senses. So you can start with your ears, kind of do some touching here, kind of wake everything up. So I've been playing with imaginative play as a spiritual practice. We're going to start like doing little alligator chomps on your body down here. Just kind of like wake everything up. You can move around as you feel called to do, whatever feels fun. So we all are using our senses to create an internal map of reality, and it's localized. So it's like we're using it. Does everyone know there's 8 senses? I just realized this recently. Does everyone know the 8 senses? So you got hearing, taste, touch, smell. Did I miss one? Sight. Thank you. This is a team sport. And then the other ones are vestibular. So that's your balance, your sense of where you are in space. The other one is interoception, which is the communication that your body is having with you. So if your stomach is grumbling, if you're feeling a pain somewhere, those are your interoceptions, like it's your homeostasis, like your sense of how your body's doing. And then the last one is proprioception. So that's the sense of where your body is in space. Like if you close your eyes, you'll have a sense of where your fingers are in space. And so what's great about dancing is like it incorporates all of those senses. You're using all of them all the time, and you can play with them as you're dancing. But so we're all creating multimedia art all the time. We're making this map of reality through all of these senses. And what we call creativity or play is just reversing that in a way that other people can understand and can resonate with. So that's all we're doing when we play music. It's such a great, like, immediate way of creating this artistic communication together. So that's what we're going to be playing with today. But it all starts with just moving your body in ways that feel comfortable. And just like follow your curiosity. Follow the fun. If something feels fun, or you see somebody doing something that you want to copy, like let's do that. And then it brings about one of the main aspects of if we're doing improvised music or making art together, it's improv. Anyone here done improv before? Yes. So the concept of improv is yes and, right? You create a scene or I got some S's. You create a scene or a character, and then everyone else will play off of that. It's very intellectual. So sometimes if you don't have a witty response or can't think of a character in time, the preference is the people that can like come up with stuff on the spot. But I was like, that's not what this is about. The other concept is mirroring, where it's like you're just copying with your body. If you see somebody doing something, you maybe mimic it, and then you also amplify it, and you play around with it. And it's all about like following, like what feels fun to you in the moment, bring that out, including like weird sounds. Yeah. Because we're a very serious band, and we're all going to be in this band together. But And like, all expression is going to be welcome and valid, but I know we've all got weird sounds in us. We can get those out right now. That's it, right here, right here. Right here, weird sounds. Right here, weird sounds. All right. Yes. Yeah. Now, I wanted to quickly introduce, there's a concept of duality and non-duality. Where's my Buddhist friends at? All right, they're all around us. So we operate in a very dualistic society. Settler colonialism, very dualistic. You create very clear distinctions between things. And like something either is something or it's not. But in reality, everything exists on a spectrum. And we're a very non-dualistic congregation here, which is great. So this is going to be great. We're already set up for success. So we have this, so for the non-duality, everything exists on a spectrum. There's like, the duality says there's male and female. There's a gender spectrum. Duality says that there's a professional and an amateur, or there's an audience and there's a performer. And so a lot of times, even if we're moving into these like decolonization kind of spaces and we're like stripping away a lot of the prejudices and the hierarchy and the control that comes with duality, I've noticed there's a lot of times where we still, there's always more duality in there that we can work through and we can kind of break apart. And especially with art, like there's, professional artists, and then there's like people that don't know what they're doing, or there's professional musicians. There's a certain way you should make music, and all that is great. Like doing all the more complexity and the ways that you experience music is awesome, but also it's something that everyone can do. We've all got it inside us. I read a quote recently where we're not a body that has a soul. We're a soul that has a body. It's like we're not humans making music. We're music pretending to be humans. And yeah, so it's all right there. We have that power to tap into that non-duality, that the existence, the true nature of the universe. That's what's really coming through. When you feel like something's really fun, that's a calling. You got to get that out. The universe wants to see it. Sorry, I'm closer to the mic. I'm moving around too much. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna start a band now. We're the tentative name. So this is a non-hierarchical band. I'm not the leader. So the tentative name I have is Universal Jazz Friends, with 2 U's at the beginning. Universal Jazz. Do you like that? Like that? Okay. We can workshop it later. But yeah, we're all in the band now. So we're gonna do a little bit of conducting, a little bit of like structurally unstructured play. Okay, so we're gonna practice a little bit. Let's do those weird sounds again, but we're gonna do it in sections. And so with conducting, you're moving around. Oh, I need my helper. This is Grover. I'm not gonna do the voice because it hurts my throat. But this is Grover. So we all know Grover has superpowers. He can control who is speaking, how loud they're speaking, how loud they're expressing themselves, how they're playing their instrument. He's got this power inside of him. So right now, and the way that he moves, or the way that anybody moves to kind of conduct, you can interpret their movement in any way. You can play around with that. We're improving. So it's like whatever that movement means to you, to how you're expressing yourself. So we're gonna start over here, and we're gonna get those weird sounds out. so Grover is a 4-dimensional volume knob. So he's moving through space. As he gets closer to the instruments of the people, you get louder. He's further away from you, you get quieter. And so I need a volunteer to help Grover be the 4-dimensional volume knob. All right. Yeah. It's a huge responsibility. So you'll be moving around the room, or if you make eye contact with somebody and you move the rope, and it's like whatever feels comfortable, whatever feels fun, whatever you interpret the movement to be, allow that to change your expression. And then also too, with a big band, everybody's playing at once, chaos. So as the band gets bigger, you're spacing out your playing, and maybe you're adding just a little like da 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 to the rhythm, and so we'll give each other space to play. We'll just kind of drop away so that we can hear like the bowls playing or hear the violin. I'm so sorry about this microphone. I'm not doing a good job, but so we can drop out and hear all the different voices, because music is a conversation. And we want to be able to hear everybody speaking. And if you're curious about like what somebody's playing or like really like it, we can like quiet down and listen to that. And then Grover is kind of a visual model to help us visualize kind of keeping things flowing up and down so it doesn't get too chaotic. I like chaos, but a little too much is too much. Yeah, we're start jamming. Right. I invite everybody to grab an instrument. Hello. Oh, hey. Oh, jeez. Okay. So there's instruments all around. Feel free to trade them out if you see someone who wants to trade or doesn't use it. There's another bucket right here. Towards the front, clear bucket, a bunch of shakers and stuff. You guys can grab those. And then I've got a xylophone there. Nice. Yeah, you do what you can. So music is mostly about rhythm. We're all existing in time, and there's cycles. Oh, and the other thing with our band. Go, Grover, go. Okay, so I'm gonna yap for just a little bit longer. One of the with us being a band together is, and we're doing this service together, when there's people speaking, let's keep it really quiet so that we can hear everybody expressing themselves, and then we can bring it back up as what feels appropriate. So everything is about rhythm in our band, right? Or in life, really. We're all existing in time. We're existing in cycles. There's like really short cycles of like the chemical reactions like in our cells are happening like this all the time. There's the longer cycles of like erosion, the Grand Canyon getting formed, and so we're all existing in time, and we can accentuate different parts of those cycles. A very simple way to like think about rhythm is in 2s and 3s. So you're going along, I've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you can add some 3s. Add some 2s. And you can space those out, you can put them close together. just kind of whatever feels right, whatever feels fun. And if you do something that you like, you just do it again a little while later, and that's music. And we've got melody instruments too, same thing, operating in rhythm. Another little bit we're gonna do is I'm calling it. We're gonna do 5 beats and then we stop. Anybody? So James Brown has a song. I can't say the name of it in church, but there's a song where he says he talks to his band. It's like we can talk to each other. This is an improv service, so we can give each other direction. So it's like can we hit it and quit? And then the band goes, yeah. Can we hit it and quit? Yeah. And then so we'll be playing, and I'll kind of lead this. And if I do 5 beats in a row, we all do silence for a bit. And then what I want to do for this one is we'll do a little bit of silence, and then we'll do a nice big ah with shakers only, and then we'll start the music again. Okay, so can we do that? Can we hit it and quit? And then start again? Right, a little bit. Okay. Oh, I forgot about the most important part of this band. One of the most important parts. We need dancers. Yeah. All right, let's get anyone who if it feels fun, let's get up and let's move. Okay, we're following Grover now. So he's over here. Volume is high here. Everywhere else is slow. All right, Grover's Bluetooth has been disconnected.
That's beautiful, friends. Beautiful. I love the energy in the room, and we are going to move to our Ringing of the Bull section, and I'd like to invite 4 volunteers who would like to come be readers while we give them a little musical underscore. 4 readers. Tom, wonderful. Kristen, wonderful. Pamela, wonderful. Okay, I got my 4. Sorry, Krista. Next time.
And you can read it in your stuffed animal's voice if you like.
So, friends, it's written right down here for you. This is your microphone. Get really close so that we all can hear the beautiful words. And each of you will read 1 stanza, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're done, you can just wander off that way, and then we can have just a little pause before the next stanza, so we can just have a musical moment. Improv it. Today's mantra, besides "May the 4th be with you," is "Go with the flow."
Thou art the song of my heart in the morning. Thou art the dawn of truth in my soul. Thou art the dew of the roses adorning. Thou art the woven whole.
Thine is the grace to be steadfast in danger,
Thine is the peace that none can destroy. Thine is the face of the need-driven stranger. Thine are the wings of joy.
Thou art the deep, to the deep in me calling. Thou art the lamp where my feet shall tread. Thy way is steep, past the peril of falling. Thou art my daily bread.
Thine is the praise of my spirit uplifted. Thou art the sea to each flowing stream. Thine be the days that are gathered and sifted. Thou art the deathless dream.
Today is adapted from the Reverend Terry Dennehy. There's going to be a congregational response. The response is, imagine we have arrived. Let's practice that. Imagine the lush river cannot swallow us or drown out the voices of our hearts. Imagine we have come to these eagle-nested shores to celebrate with drums and dancing feet. Imagine we have come, a gathering of wings arising out of the hard shells of loneliness and into the streets. Imagine we have come out of the violence and the rush of the trains and the drives between, out of the pain in the waiting rooms and the classrooms, the boardrooms and the bedrooms. We are birthing into light. Imagine we are holding our palms to the sky, awake and amazed that we can trust the hush, the hum. We fall into the waves. Imagine we have arrived. Imagine we are listening to the sighs, to the aches of our histories, to the silences pinched beneath skins, and we are learning how to speak our own names. Imagine speaking our own names, soft and slow now, turned over and over in our mouths until they shine on our tongues like silver pearls, until something inside us is a sail, is gratitude billowing and free. Come, let us worship together.
friends in the playground. I have a special time for all ages for us this morning that really needs your help. Will you come join me up front? There's some stuffies up here too. And friends not in the playground, come. Yes, elephant, shark, all your stuffies. I don't know if Humphrey can help me do this or not because I might need both hands. So we have a special time for all ages this morning. How many of you have ever done Mad Libs? In the car? Yeah, we have a Mad Lib story today. Are you ready for this fun? So first I need a person, a place, and an animal. So who can give me a person who's gonna be the main character of our story, Greta? Oh, can we not have it be me? I love you for saying that, but let's have it be somebody else. Taylor Swift, I love Taylor. We got any Swifties in the house?
No copyright. We're gonna get copyright strikes though.
So our person is Taylor Swift. And what about a place? Yes. Walmart, okay. Walmart is a very different kind of place. And what about an animal? There's so many choices, Chris, what you got? Orange cat. Okay. Very orange? Okay, very orange cat. Okay. Now I need a plural noun. So that's a thing with an S on the end. Yeah, let's see. Mac. Sharks. Adjective, a descriptive word, an adjective. I want to get to everybody. CC. Stupid. That is an adjective. What about a plural noun? Another plural noun. Hold on, friends. Friends out here, plural noun? Yes, ma'am. Owls. Oh, that's a good one. Owls. Okay. Then I need a piece of clothing. A piece of clothing. A t-shirt. Okay? Then I need a noun. Greta. Whittier. Okay, Whittier is a school. Okay, then I need another adjective. Weird. We got stupid and weird, friends. How about a color? Addison, do you have a color? A favorite color? No? Mac, color. Green. How about an emotion, Carissa? Emotion. There's so many. Scared. That's a good one for right now. And for our story, too. What about an adjective? Cece, did you want to? You're thinking? Justin? Sigma? Sigma is an adjective? It's an adjective? Yeah. No. Justin says no. I'm going to let Justin veto. All right, we're going with it. Man, I thought I spoke kid language, but apparently not. Okay, another plural noun. Mac. Okay. What? Turtles. Turtles? Yeah, okay. You gotta speak loud, friends. One more noun. Who has a noun for me? Yes, Greta? A thing. A fridge. Okay, animal. All right, we're good. Are you ready to hear this story of imagination and force? You ready, Humphrey? A long time ago, in a galaxy not so far away, there lived a curious soul named Taylor Swift, who believed the universe was full of sharks, just waiting to be discovered, even beyond the outer rim. Every cycle, Taylor Swift would travel to Walmart A hidden world behind a stupid nebula, surrounded by ancient owls, once used by the Jedi for meditation. And guarding this secret place was a wise old orange cat, dressed in a tiny t-shirt that looked oddly like a Jedi robe, carrying a Whittier spool, humming softly, almost like a lightsaber. This creature was no ordinary being, this orange cat. It was the keeper of the ancient ways, the forgotten power of imagination, once known in Jedi text as the Force. One shadowed stardate, the weird sky turned green. Now we're back in Wicked. And First Order ships appeared above Walmart, blotting out the twin suns. Taylor Swift turned to the orange cat and asked, "What do we do when hope feels too scared to remember?" The orange cat closed its eyes, touched the owl, and whispered, "In darkness, we imagine. With rebel ideas, we resist with stories. Imagination is the force. Now close your eyes and picture something truly incredible and let it guide you." So Taylor got quiet and tuned into their body and spirit. In their mind, turtles soared like X-wings through asteroid fields. And a fridge grew in the place of weapons. But you know what's in a fridge? Food. Food to feed the people grew in the place of weapons. As the visions became real, the dark ships vanished, and the force of imagination spread across the stars. And from that day on, Taylor Swift, Walmart, and the ever-wise orange cat traveled the galaxy, teaching others that resistance begins within, and the force lives in those who dare to imagine. And before each lesson ended, they would say to the gathered crowd with a knowing smile, say with me, friends, "May the force be with you." The end. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was the coolest thing. Those musicians did not know but a tiniest bit of that story and improvised the music for the whole thing. Yes, that deserves a kazoo. We are now going to sing our community blessing. You can stay here and jam with the music. You can go back to your seats. You can go back to the playground, whatever speaks to you. You can take a stuffy with you if you like.
You guys want to dance? You guys want to dance? We're up there.
When we give, we say yes to more than generosity. We say yes to the sacred force of imagination. We say yes to the natural rhythm of abundance and to the creative power that lives in each of us. Power to envision and build beloved community within these walls and far beyond them. With each act of giving, we resist despair and indifference. We commit ourselves to justice, to compassion, and the playful, powerful imagining of a world where all people and the earth are cherished. Today we share our gifts with our plate partner, Idaho Abortion Rights, as an expression of that living commitment, supporting their work to protect and restore reproductive freedom, educate the public, and mobilize community action to ensure that all people can access the care they need with dignity and autonomy. May our gifts today help us live boldly in our values, put our faith into motion through generosity, courage, and imagination.
Can you invite the ushers? Can you invite the ushers? No, they are starting with you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I invite the ushers to come forward. Our offering will be greatly received.
Yeah, now we jam. Now we jam. I invite us all to join together in the collective blessing of our offering. Come on down, friends. We bless these gifts so freely given. May generosity always be our companion as we walk the holy path toward ever greater compassion. Thank you. So today, we are going to create a community sermon. And I want to thank Lyndon Boyce and Kathy Carmen for the inspiration for this moment that fits so well with this improv service. For this Christmas gift that I received, Pandora's Box. So I'll remind you of the myth, and then I'm going to invite some volunteers as you're moved to come forward. We have time for a few, and pick a quote out of the box and share it with us. But But remember the myth that Prometheus stole fire from the Greek gods on Mount Olympus to give to the mere mortals.
Yay!
Yes, thank you, Prometheus. Zeus, however, took vengeance by presenting Pandora, boo, the first human woman, to Prometheus's brother, patriarchy. Zeus also gave Pandora a box and warned her not to open it. But Pandora's curiosity and perhaps inner wisdom led her to open the box, which released many evils into the world: sickness and disease and violence and greed and madness and death. But the box also included hope. And when Pandora closed the box, hope remained. So we are going to open Pandora's box today for our community sermon and invite you to share words of hope. Remember, this is the microphone. Get real close. Just one hope.
There are far, far better things ahead than anything we leave behind.
Who else, friends? Do I need to call on you? Come on, Elizabeth, Reverend Elizabeth.
Yeah,
A few times.
Short, Reverend Elizabeth. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all.
Oh no, there's so many, they're stuck together. Would you like to speak a word of hope? It's okay to line up, friends.
I'll try again. I don't think of all the misery, but of the beauty that still remains. Anne Frank.
Anyone? Speakers of hope.
This new day is too dear, with its hopes and invitations, to waste a moment on the yesterdays.
Learn to ask even when you feel weak. Learn to work even if you don't want to. Learn to hope even when the odds are against you.
All kids need a little help, a little hope, and somebody who believes in them.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
Learn from today. Learn from yesterday. Live for today. Hope for tomorrow. The important thing is to not stop questioning. Albert Einstein.
I inhale hope with every breath I take.
You may not always have a comfortable life, and you will not always be able to solve all of the world's problems at once. But don't ever underestimate the importance you can have, because history has shown us that courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own. Michelle Obama.
We have always held to the hope. We have always held to the hope, the belief, the conviction that there is a better life, a better world beyond the horizon. Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Heaven and hell are right here on earth. Heaven is living in your hopes, and hell is living in your fears. It's up to each individual which one he chooses. Tom Robbins.
You will face many defeats in your life, but never let yourself be defeated. Maya Angelou.
This is from Lin Yu Tang. Hope is like a road in the country. There was never a road, but when many people walk on it, the road comes into existence.
And I will close our community sermon time, which was amazing. Thank you, friends, with these words of wisdom and hope from Don Quixote. Sanity may be madness, but the maddest of all is to see life as it is and not as it should be. Amen. May it be so.
Each week we take time to acknowledge the many joys and sorrows among us, and to grieve the many joys among us, and to grieve our many sorrows and losses, so that we may lift the burden for each other and receive the blessing of this community. It is through our sharing with one another that we forge deep bonds of community and connection. And now we invite you to share your own joys and sorrows, and people you're holding in your heart, speak them aloud into our music-filled space and into this community of care. We'll start with our joys. Whatever joys are on your heart, share them out loud or in the chat. I got one. Can I do one?
Go.
Today is my 6th wedding anniversary to Pamela Murray. And in case you were wondering, yes, I was wearing these pants when I got married.
Whoa. This is a collective time, friends, so you are invited just to speak your joys into the space. Graduation! Just speak them out loud. Speak them to the music.
Now you are invited to share your sorrows. Whatever sorrows are on your heart, share them out loud or in the chat. If you're holding someone in your heart this morning, you're invited to speak their name out loud or share it in the chat. Let's join our collective voices together again in a unison blessing. There's going to be words on the slide. May the arms of this community hold all our joys and sorrows, those named and those that remain silent and close to our hearts. Blessed be.
I invite you to join me in the continued spirit of prayer and meditation. We're going to do a little body prayer together this morning. So I'll invite you to take some breaths, place your hands over your heart as we begin together. Breathe in and out. And as we follow the prayer, we're just going to follow this prayer right on into our closing music and meditation with Kelly. And on the inhale, I invite you to reach your arms up to the sky and gather up all of the blessings and beauty and joy and imagination that are there for you and bring them back into your heart. And then I invite you to reach down to the earth, connect with the earth, reach down, and bring up all of the blessings of this earth and the grounding and the nourishment that feeds you and hold it into your heart. And then I invite you to reach your hands out, send all of that energy and blessings and joy out into the world. Then come back to hands in prayer pose or on your heart, whichever is comfortable. And as this is an improvisational service, if you have other prayerful gestures you'd like to add to the mix, go for it. We'll do that together 3 times. Reach your hands up to the sky. Down to the earth. And share that out with the world. Up to the sky. Out with the world. One more time, reach up to the sky. And down to the earth. The arms out with the world. Spirit of life and love, holy mystery, force of imagination. May our prayers and joys and sorrows for ourselves, our beloveds in this world, flow out of us into our broken and hurting world to tend to the weary hearts and spirits of those in need. May we remember we are a beloved community, honoring the inherent worth and dignity, the sacred belovedness of all bodies, all living creatures. As a community, may we affirm together in these times when it is hard to see and find and hear and feel the hope. May we be beacons of that force of hope for each other, reminding each other and the world that gender-affirming care is health care, that abortion is health care. We hold in our hearts those who were wrongfully taken from the streets, imprisoned in foreign countries. May our collective energy for collective liberation reach out that they might be brought home. Let us remember the beauty of the words of hope spoken into this space. Hold on to it. Carry it with us when hope is hard to find. May we be the light and the force for one another, always allowing imagination to take root. In the name of all that is holy, we pray. Amen.
Eyes are not closed, to go ahead and close your eyes. Just for a moment, we've tapped into so many senses today, all 8 senses. Just allowing yourself to go inward a little bit more. Noticing how you feel inside, right here, right now. This pause of awareness of what it feels like to be in community with others. Worshiping, playing, sending out to step into a space inside for another moment. Because our bodies are what we take with us around, what we're experiencing this life through. So I invite you to breathe down into your toes, all the way down to your toes. Whatever you'd like to take away from this space. Love, connection, gratitude. Allowing yourself to breathe out all the way down to your toes. Beautiful life force that is in this room, all the way down to your ankles. Love with gratitude. To your calves, your shins, your knees. Love, gratitude, life force, vitality that we're all partaking in together today. Your thighs. Breathing down into your pelvic floor. Allowing every cell in your being to be blessed by this energy that we're shared in today. Your hips, your lower abdomen, breathing into that space, feeling your belly expand and contract. This deep place of wisdom in your body. Allowing you to show up every day in a way that's so authentic to you because you are blessed with all of these beautiful energies above, all the way to your upper abdomen. Bringing these energies into your heart. Feeling your heart space expand and contract. So that you can be more fully in alignment with the love that you would like to offer yourself to the world around you. Breathing all the way up to your clavicle, to your shoulders. Gratitude, peace in your being. Flowing through all the blood and the fluids in your body, flowing everywhere. All the way up to the top of your head. And I invite a collective 3 breaths. So everyone go ahead and exhale. Inhaling through your nose. Sighing out your mouth. 2 more times. One more time. And with love, with gratitude, with life force from your being connected to all the other beings here, out through Boise, out to our world. There's so much power in this collective energy. Thank you.
Friends, we have a very special closing blessing today. As I mentioned to you last Sunday, I have been your minister for 10 years. But today, thank you, today actually marks the 10-year anniversary of when this congregation voted to call me as your minister. So I would like to invite up that search committee responsible for that to come up here and give the special closing for us this morning.
Hi, I'm Patty Nakaoki. I want you to think back 11 years in the life of this congregation. The Reverend Elizabeth Green had recently retired, and we had contracted with the Reverend Dana Warsnop to serve as our interim minister for 2 years. Our denomination is not a top-down one where somebody was going to assign us a new minister. It was our responsibility as a congregation to choose a new settled minister, and UU ministers also get to choose the congregations they'd like to serve. Following the UU search system, this congregation elected a 7-member search committee consisting of Wanda Jennings, Ren Carpenter, Elton Hall, all of whom could not be here today, and then the 4 of us you see up here, Lori Watson, David Clopton, Lyndon Boyce, and myself. Lyndon is going to give you the very short version of the search process, but any one of us would be happy to give you a longer search version. This was a huge part of our life for a year.
So, our committee had a lot to do. For example, we needed to find out what sort of minister the congregation wanted, find a minister who could meet our desires and recruit them to come to Booth. It involved a lot of data gathering, analysis, and prep work over many months. A few of the tasks were to compose, administer, and compile results of a congregational survey that 253 members and friends answered. I think that might qualify as a miracle. And we conducted interviews with Booth committees and focus groups, and then summarized and analyzed the data. We assembled a packet for ministerial candidates describing Booth, Boise, and Idaho. And we prepared interview questions for candidates and potential responses to candidates' questions to us. We reviewed resumes and materials from 17 potential candidates in the UUA Ministerial Settlement Pool. We interviewed remotely via phone or video chats 8 candidates. Afterwards, the search committee ranked candidates and dropped some, and some candidates withdrew themselves from our consideration. 3 candidates were invited to Idaho for February and March 2015 visits to meet our committee, see Booth buildings and grounds, and get to know Boise and the Treasure Valley a little better. The committee also had the opportunity to observe the candidates in a neutral pulpit, giving sermons to a live congregation. Due to the physical distances to other UU congregations in Idaho, our neutral pulpit was at a liberal Christian church. The Ministerial Search Committee then went through a final evaluation of the 3 candidates and invited our top choice, Reverend Sara LaWall, back to Boise. At the beginning of May 2015, Reverend Sara met with other Booth members and friends, staff, committees, and groups. On Sunday, May 3rd, Reverend Sara gave her first sermon at Booth. This was followed by a congregational vote on whether to call her to be our minister, and we did. And before I cede the pulpit to Lori, on a personal note, it's been a joy to see Sarah's family grow in Boise, including June, Gavin, and Michael's mustache.
Perhaps the smartest decision we made as a committee was to ask the poetic Deborah Smith to take what we had cobbled together to describe what we hoped for in a future minister and for the future of Booth into this beautiful piece, which we shared with our ministerial candidates. We want our children to sing hymns in the shower and to speak bravely in history class. We want them to see adults make coffee and policy. We want them to watch elders cede power and be honored. We want our children to hear adult voices that quaver and grope at the margins of understanding. We want them to hear adults talking about sermons from the pulpit, the lofty philosophies and the mundane dilemmas that crowd our days. the dilemmas that challenge us to discern when to yield gracefully and when to speak forcefully. We want to hear the voices of our children as they try out new ideas and identities. We want to become known as a gentle, angry people who will hold accountable all those in power who would denigrate any vulnerable people. We want tentative seekers who come to us to feel welcomed and needed, or welcomed and comforted. We want new and old to feel an upwelling of the life-affirming urge to grow, to lead, to minister. We want to meditate on what is worthy and to mediate among ourselves our priorities. We want to repudiate all that denies hope, and we want to sanctify our mortal lives. We want to do this all in the presence of our children, mindful of the gaze of our children and within earshot of our children, so that we don't rend the fragile fabric of beloved community. We need a minister who preaches us in this direction and who challenges us to open up to new ways of worship. We need a minister who models leadership and who encourages us to be mindful of structures and assumptions that can either open up or close down opportunities for people to grow, to lead, and to minister. We need a minister to minister to us and with us. We were so fortunate to have Reverend Sara answer our call and to have unanimous congregation support to call her from the members of our fellowship. Sara, from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of everyone who has been touched and made better by your presence here, thank you for 10 years of service, and here's hoping for many more.
Thank you all so much. I remember that first weekend I came out here, it was Valentine's Day. Valentine's weekend. Friends, it has been a joy to be your minister for these 10 years. You have lived into and continue to live into those gorgeous and stunning words by Deborah Smith, who I will tell you was a clincher in your packet. Really, truly. And that beautiful video by Dave Falcone. Those words continue to inspire me. I try to read them often to remember what it is you have called me to do. And I think it's beautifully fitting that on this 10th anniversary, we're having an improvisational worship music service with costumes and a playground, and I'm in bare feet. So here we are together. Would you rise and bow to your spirit, place your hands over your heart for our closing blessing? Beloveds, continue to be the beautiful force that you are, to love the hell out of this world, as is the call of our universalist theology, to love one another, to love this world, and to keep fighting for all that is good and sacred and holy and beautiful. Blessed are we all. Go in peace. I think there's a slideshow. Okay. Oh, and there's cake. You're invited to have celebratory cake after the slideshow. Hello, Boise UU Fellowship. I'm the Reverend Sara LaWall, and I am so excited to be your candidate for your next settled minister. I look forward to meeting all of you during candidating week in just a few weeks, to hearing your stories about Booth and exploring all the wonderful possibilities for our ministry together. See you soon.